Grand Rising, everybody. This one right here is a message to all negroes worldwide, but specifically I'll be targeting the negroes of southern Nigeria. The reason for this is not far-fetched, but if you take a look at it, there's something peculiar about the people of southern Nigeria. They have so many in common, but yet they are divided among themselves, along many lines. Religious lines, ethnic lines, tribal lines, political lines. But how come that these people do not consider that why did they go to slavery by ships? You see, it is not a coincidence that when the Europeans came to pick slaves, they just stopped their venture at the middle of the Niger in Niger area called Nigeria. You think they did not like to take some northerners as slaves? Or you thought they could not overpower the people of northern Nigeria? You do not consider your southern Nigerians. You are like a brilliant but yet so naive child. It pains me to use this adjective to describe the people of southern Nigeria, but this is how you all are, like little children that bicker over the most mundane of all things. You see, the people of southern Nigerians went to slavery by ships. But how come that you all do not ask that why did your ancestors go to slavery by ships? How come that the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Deltas, Benin, this Port Harcourt people across river, Akwa Ibom, southern Nigerians, you all went to slavery by ships? Have you not asked why? Or have you not thought about it? How come that you were colonized and even after what you call independence, you still have a colonial master lording over you? When I say colonial master lording over you, I mean the British lord over you, but they're ruling over you by proxy, chiefly a particular tribe in the north. You know, your neighbors up north, they are like your political or neo-colonial leaders by proxy. But you do not ask yourselves why all this. The oil that fuels the engine of your country comes from the southern Nigeria. But yet, you southern Nigerians, you do not enjoy it, specifically the South. Your region is impoverished. Your region is a hell on earth in terms of the degradation. Your friendly neighbors up north, who has been set to rule over you, control all the parastatals where the resources lie. Is it not a curse that you, the people of South or Southern Nigeria, you own the oil, but you don't have power to sit over the institutions controlling this oil? You think it is just ordinary? You think it is not spiritual? It is a curse for your forefathers to go to slavery by ships, and you, the descendants, to be enslaved and neo-colonized in your homeland. It is a curse. Ekbeni. You see, I'll be mixing some words of Yoruba here because I want to target also the Yorubas. It is a curse that you are so brilliant, people of southern Nigeria, in terms of education. But hey, you all are not in charge of institutions that is actually directing the affairs of your country. You see, you are like second-class citizens. When they make the laws applies to punish you, but it does not punish your friends up north. You think it is just ordinary? Why have you not considered? You see, many years ago, a civil war broke out in the Yoruba land. They called it the Yoruba Civil War. Check the irony of it. The Yorubas were already enslaved by slave ships. Some of their brothers had gone to slavery. They were being colonized in their land. While this was going on, what was your forefathers, the Yorubas, doing? They were busy fighting each other over tribal issues. They want to control the land. Who controls what? So they fought a civil war while being colonized. You have not considered that the things you do southern Nigeria is not normal. You loot your brother's resources. You steal resources and send it to foreign countries so that they will keep to develop their economy, while your home brothers suffer. You politicians of southern Nigeria, you are under a curse. You are stealing the oil, the resources, the money shared for your people. You steal it, use it to buy houses, watches, and some of these houses you stock it in Europe. And they get taxes on them while your own people suffer. But in the real game of it all, your friends up north are even the ones enjoying the benefit because they are your proxy colonialists. You, the politicians of southern Nigerians, you are just glorified slaves. And yet you do not reason. You do not consider the years of many generations. The scripture says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. That is why many of you say your region, your country is like a God-forsaken place because you have rejected knowledge. But I'm not here to preach damnation. I am not your enemy because I tell you the truth. I love you, people of southern Nigeria. And when I say that you all are second-class citizens and your friends up north are the first-class citizens, I do not say this to bring you to hatred towards them. You see, Eledumare set them over you to punish you for your iniquities. While they in the north were united, you in the south were divided, fighting, selling, backstabbing yourselves to slavery, to the point that some of you in western of Nigeria, Yorubas, you fought a civil war while being colonized. Do you think your friends in the north will fight the civil war? If you try to colonize them, they will fight the civil war amongst themselves to weaken themselves. Ewa dienti oniye. Ewa aisiye. Ela iye, ela oro, ela iye. Iye yin da. Ṣé iye yin ti lọ ni? You see, it is funny because the Igbos, they have never declared war or tried to colonize the land of the Yorubas. But for whatever reasons, these two strong tribes seems to always be at loggerhead. It is because the enemies are trying to push enmity in between you. In the history of Nigeria, the Igbos did not do what the other one did to Afonja in Ilorin. It was not the Igbos that did that. They are your brothers, Yorubas. They went to slavery on ships just like you did. You see, it is a common factor amongst you southern Nigeria, and I will use it to tell you that it is a uniting factor because the Europeans knew what they did. They did not take the people of northern Nigeria to slavery on purpose because they did not fit the description of who they were looking for. They were looking for a particular set of people, the negroes. It was not the Igbos that tried to fight war into Oyo. No, it was your friends from the north, Yorubas. The Igbos have done nothing to you. They have done nothing to wage war on your land. Àwọn Igbo kọ́ ló lọ sínú oko yín láti lọ máa pa àwọn ìyá yín. Àwọn Igbo kọ́ ló mú dẹran láti sínú oko láti lọ máa pa àwọn ìyá yín. Igbo kọ́ ló ṣe ọṣẹ Ìlọrin sí yín lójú. Igbo kọ́ ló gbé ìjà tó gbé wọ ìlú Ọ̀ṣun tó fẹ́ máa gbé wọ ìlú Ọ̀yọ́. Igbo kọ́. Kí ló dé tẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣe wá rí pé ọmọ bàbá yín ni wọ́n, ìyá ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ló bí yín àmọ́ ọmọ bàbá kan náà gbogbo yín? You are all the children of the same fathers, be it Yorubas, be it Egun, be it you are from Benin Republic, be it you are from Benin in Nigeria, Benin State, Edo, be it you are from Delta, be it from Igbo, be it you are from the South. You all are negroes, bounded by blood, bounded by the same covenant that made the Europeans to enslave you all by ships. You people of southern Nigerians, why are you divided among religious lines? Let's start from there. You see, you can only free yourself from the political slavery that you are under from your friends up north when you're united. Why are you divided among religious lines? Catholics, Christians, Jehovah's Witnesses, but chiefly Christians and Muslims. Why? You see, let us not deceive ourselves. Most of you Christians and Muslims, when you have issues, you go to your pastors or alfas. And when you tell them your problems, you all know that these your pastors and alfas, your religious leaders, what they do is that they go to the traditional ones, who some of you call Awonifa, Abawon Babalawo. Your religious leaders, your pastors or alfas, wọ́n ṣe Ògún. If you are a Muslim, you know this. Do not lie. Elédùmarè ò fẹ́ kẹ́ parọ́. Ẹ̀yin náà mọ̀ ní pé ẹ̀ ń ṣe Ògún. And if you are a Christian, you know that your pastors are not doing the right thing. And many of them are into what some of you will call fetish things. Well, there is power on the right hand side and there is power on the left hand side. Àmọ́ gbogbo agbára Elédùmarè ló ṣe àkójọpọ̀ ẹ̀. So, Christians and Muslims of southern Nigeria, have you not considered that when they gave you the rosary, they gave you through slavery? The rosary is in the shape of beads. Bileke. I want you to follow me, please. It is critical for you to please follow me through. I am not here to disturb your heart in terms of what you see as religion, because we are very emotional to religion, which we do not understand, which was not created by us. Yoruba kọ̀kọ̀kọ̀ ló dá ẹ̀sìn tí ẹ̀ ń sìn sílẹ̀. Igbo kọ̀kọ̀kọ̀ ló dá Catholicism sílẹ̀. No children of southern Nigeria created what you all consider as your religion now in terms of Christians and Muslims. So please forget the emotions. Seek salvation and be logical with me. So we have ascertained that the rosary came from the Europeans through slavery. it is bead-like. Also, do not forget that the Muslims also have something that looks like a rosary called tesubil. Follow me through. The tesubil comes from the Arabs. That's why I said you have no reason to be emotional. You did not create the tesubil, Yoruba Muslim. Tesubil came from the Arabs and they introduced it to you, Southern Nigerians, and also negroes across West Africa, because you're killing yourself because of religion. Meanwhile, the tesubil also looks like rosary, they are beads. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣe yé ní pé kí ló dé táwọn nǹkan méjèèjì yìí ṣe jọ ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ fá. Wọ́n jọ ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ fá. Have you not considered that why does the rosary and the tesubil resemble ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ fá? Do you think it's a coincidence that two separate cultures formed the religion and they ordained a bead-like structure and they introduced it to you all through slavery? Two separate entities, two separate cultures, two separate religions, two separate bead-like structure, rosary, tesubil. But they both resemble Okbelefa. They copied you. You are the original. You own the Okbelefa, which is power. But the rosary and the tesubil have not saved you. It has only brought you delusion. Have you not reasoned that you are the same people of the book? The same people of the book that you both read about and you try to kill each other about. It is an irony. When I see you Christians and Muslims of West Africa or Southern Nigeria fight, it is an irony. You are both fighting and killing yourself over the same God that is actually your God, but you have the misthought about him through the eyes of the Romans and the Arabs. The Romans and the Arabs were trying to understand Eledumare, so they created rosary and tesubil, but you do not know that you are the original. You are the original, you are the power. Okbelefa lẹ́ ń lò fún agbára, ẹ kàn gbé rosary àti tesubil, ẹ kàn gbé síwájú ni. Nínú yàrá yín tẹ́ bá fẹ́ wádìí ọ̀rọ̀ wò, àwọn bàbá onífá lẹ máa pè, wọ́n á bá yín ta ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ́fá sílẹ̀, kí dẹ̀ ni wọ́n á sọ, wọ́n á béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ Elédùmarè, ìyẹn tí ń jẹ́ Ọlọ́run yín. Let me say it in English for my English audience. In ancient times and up till now, when the Yoruba people want to know the solution to a serious issue, they go to their Ifa priest, who cast the lot, the Okbelefa. He casts it down and he asks from Eledumare to explain the things to him, and Eledumare gives him the solution. You do not consult your rosary or tesubil because those who gave it to you were trying to imitate you. They were trying to imitate you. The real power is in your hands. You cannot receive salvation if you do not seek that from your own Creator. You have power, but you have thrown it away for something that was not created by you, for something that you do not understand, for something that is not yours. And so you kill each other over religion and you're divided. You are the people of the book, so I will break it down. You Southern Nigerians, you are the children of the ancient Israelites. Eledumare is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This channel is necessitated by the need to free you all from the many mental, religious, political slavery that you have engaged in. When I say that you negroes worldwide in the diaspora, when I say negroes, I mean negroes, because when you say negroes, the people of the northern Nigerians do not classify themselves as negroes. In fact, they make fun of you, southern Nigerians, that you are slaves. But truth be told, you act like slaves till this day. You fight among yourselves, you're divided, you're not united. So many of you might think, oh, I brought in scriptures and I say the children of southern Nigerians are the biblical descendants of ancient Israelites. Many of you will say, oh, the Bible. Well, the best place to hide something from a black man is in a book. Bible simply means collection of books. Biblios is a collection of books. And if you actually read the books they call the Bible, you'll find out that it is not a book of religion. They twisted it and created religion out of it. And I say categorically that the Bible, as you call it, is not a white man's book. It is a black man's book. Moses is a black man. Joshua is a black man. Yes, Abraham is a black man. Jacob is a black man. Nehemiah is a black man. All the prophets of Israel are all dark-skinned people, or black people as you will call them in modern day terms. Even who you call Prophet Isa, for those who are Muslims, and who you call Jesus, is a dark-skinned man, is a black man. If you're a student of history, you will understand when I say that the ancient Egyptians are dark-skinned people. You want to know how they look like? Google the Nubians of Sudan. Those are the descendants. That is history for you. That is not even talking about Bible. But I actually beg you, please remove emotions. The Arabs were not emotional when they were killing your ancestors during the sub-Saharan slave trade to give you your religion you now fight each other for. They were logical and they had a plan of conquest. The Europeans also were not emotional when they gave you all Christianity and they killed your ancestors for it. Now you all fight each other over who is a Muslim or who is a Christian in southern Nigeria. So remove your emotions. These things were not created by you. Please, do not be emotional. Now, many Christians have been mistaught about the Bible through the eyes of the Romans. And many Muslims also, they read the Bible, but sometimes they read it in order so they can argue with their Christian friends, or so that they can discredit their Christian friends. But unfortunately, the Muslims also were taught about the Bible through the eyes of the Arabs. But I ask you, when you read the scriptures of the Bible, are you reading about the Arabs or the Romans? No, you're reading about the Israelites. Do you think they just disappeared from existence? You're reading about a distinct group of people, a dark-skinned group of people, whose son, called Moses, grew up in the house of Pharaoh, another black man, because he's an ancient Egyptian, and was even hiding there. And Pharaoh was looking to kill Israelites' baby. So if Moses was a white man, he would have been easily been put out. But because he was also dark-skinned, he was able to hide under the guidance of the Creator Eledumare by using one of the princes and queens of ancient Egyptians. Now let us go into the scripture so I can show you that the ancient Israelites were dark-skinned people, and the people of the book were dark-skinned. Remove colonization, Arab conquest colonization and European conquest colonization. Please remove it from your mind. It will not save you. If you're a Muslim, you're in southern Nigeria, your northern friends, they are the ones in charge of your religion. The Grand Chief is from the north. And even when you go to the north, they don't consider you Southern Nigerians as original Muslims. They say sometimes you're infidels. They call you names. I hear they don't even allow you Southern Nigerian Muslims to lead prayers in the north because they don't consider you Muslim enough. Is that where you want to get your salvation from? To be a second-class citizen? I'm not here to cause religion disturbance among you Southern Nigerians. Let us go to the book of a dark-skinned people. It is not a book of the Arabs, neither is it a book of European. It is a book of the forefathers. Please, Lamentations chapter 5, verse 10. I want to show you something. We see what happened to them. But remember, you Southern Nigerians, you always bask in your education. You guys, you're well read. You are highly educated. You make fun of your friends up north as, megads, abokis, illiterates. Meanwhile, they are the ones ruling over you, right? All your parastatals are ruled by them. There is no new thing under the sun. Because you all are the same children of your ancestors. You repeat the same things and also experience the same thing. Listen. Lamentations chapter 5 verse 8. This is a story about the Israelites. It says, servants have ruled over us. You're not a Nigerians, you're Abokis, right? Servants have ruled over us. There is none that does deliver us out of their hands. Since 1960s, no one has been able to deliver you Southern Nigerians out of the hands of your friends from the north, or even out of the hands from the Europeans. Your fathers went to slavery. You also were colonized, some of your fathers, and now you're still being neo-colonized by your friends from the north. Let's go to verse 9. We got our bread with peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. You can see here the extent of their suffering. In the wilderness, in the scorching sun, slavering, working. Let's go on to verse 10 and see what happened to them as a result of this. Verse 10 says, our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Terrible conditions, weather conditions, heat, suffering doesn't make European skin get black or Arab skin get black. It makes dark-skinned people get blacker. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àwọn òyìnbó kì í dúdú nípasẹ̀ ìyà jíjẹ. Let me just give you another description of the children of Israel, the ancient Israelites. We will go to Lamentations 4 in verse 8. It says, their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaved to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. For those of you who are versed in English language, visage means face. Their visage is blacker than a coal. In Yoruba it says, ojú wọn dúdú ju èédú nísìnyí. A kò mọ̀ wọ́n níta. Àwọn wọn lẹ̀ mọ́ egungun wọn. Ó di gbígbẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí igi. This is not a description of a white man or white people or Europeans. This is a description of what happens to negroes, to dark-skinned people when they are facing huge oppression and real suffering, like slavery in the hot sun. Your skin gets darker. Your face gets blacker. So this is another strike. The Europeans, their skin doesn't get dark with oppression in the sun or in the scorching heat or slavery. Dark-skinned people's skin gets darker. Please come with me to the book of Daniel 7, verse 9. Now, a little backdrop for this. This is about Daniel, the prophet. He was seeing a vision. In Daniel 7 verse 9, Daniel is about to show you the vision he saw. I'll read in English first. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. For those of you who know, the Ancient of Days means the Creator or Eledumare. Now the Ancient of Days did sit. His garment, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. Now let me read that part again. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days, that is the Creator, did sit, whose garment was white as snow. So it tells you that the Creator, since we are created in His image, right? After His likeness, good. So the Creator also has a spiritual body that can manifest itself in physical realms because He created these things. It can enter into different realms. He doesn't obey your rules. He's not limited to your own realms. So He was sitting in His own spiritual realms up there in the heavens. He has His throne and is sitting. And the description of His hair by Prophet Daniel, the hair of His head like the pure wool. Woolly hair is also called nappy hair. It's also another form. The derogatory word of nappy hair is negro hair. Go and Google woolly hair, wool hair. It's not an European's hair. You all know Wale Soyinka? That is exactly white hair, like wool. So when you're about to kill yourself for God, okay, you're about to kill yourself, Christians and Muslims of southern Nigeria, because you are in your mind, the Arab man has given you your God. In your mind, the European has given you your God. You are about to kill yourself for the God that looks like you when He never asked you to. You're about to fight each other for the God that looks like you when He never asked you to. When all you have done is to suffer slavery by ships. When all you have done is to be neo-colonized in your lands. So we can see here, it also goes on to say His throne was like the fiery flame, and His wheels as burning fire. We can see that the Creator, according to the scriptures, has wool hair. Remember, I can say categorically more than 90% of the prophets found in the book that the Arabs read, religion-wise, all are Israelites. So if the Arabs are reading a book religion-wise and all the prophets are Israelites, and I'm telling you that the Israelites are black people, what does it tell you, black people? That the Arabs are actually aspiring to be like you. It's telling you that you're great people that have lost your greatness. It is so iyenu ẹ̀rántí ara mọ́. Ìgbàgbé ti ṣẹlẹ̀ dá yín, lẹ fi ń para yín jà, lẹ fi ìṣẹ́nu. Lẹ mọ̀ pé Quran àti Bíbélì, àwọn prophets tó wà nínú ẹ̀, èèyàn dúdú ní gbogbo wọn. Àràbò tó dẹ̀ ń kà á, ó ń kà ń pa àwọn bàbá ńlá bàbá yín, lẹ́yìn wá fẹ́ para yín lórí ẹ̀. Tẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin gangan lèèyàn núwèé, ẹ̀yin ni ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ fá. Àwọn Arabs lọ ka wọ́n lọ ka ìwé wọn, wọ́n kà gbogbo Prophet Isa, Prophet Musa, Prophet Abraham, èèyàn dúdú ni wọ́n, they are your forefathers. Ìgbà tí wọ́n kà débi ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀, wọ́n lọ ṣe tẹ̀sùbí, òyìnbó náà múwèé náà ó kà á. Ìgbà tó kà débi ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ fá, ó lọ ṣe rosary. You are the original. Ẹ̀yin lèèyàn núwèé, you are the people of the book. Even the prophet of the Arabs told them in Surah 2 verse 1 to 2, go to the people of the book if you have any issues. They are meant to come to you to seek guidance, to seek the way. They are meant to come to you, not you to them. ẹ ti sọ ipò nù, ẹ ti papòdà, ẹ ti wá gba iyì òfo. Òfo bántẹ́ lẹ́jogún. Ọmọọba ti dẹrú, ẹrú ti dọmọba. You are the people of the book. We Arabs, 95% of the prophets they reference are all Israelites and are found in the book of the Israelites. The Israelites are dark-skinned people. They are black people. So you negroes around the world, you who went to slavery by ships, you are descendants of these ancient Israelites, and the Arabs have been ordered by the prophet to seek guidance from you if they have anything to ask. You are meant to be the light. You are meant to show them how to live peacefully. Like you Muslims of southern Nigeria, you are the ones living peacefully. You are meant to show peace. You are meant to be the one teaching the Muslims of the north to live in peace. Because you are actually the people of the book, and the Muslims of the north are meant to ask you, how are you living in peace? But rather, they call you infidels. They say you are not Muslim enough. Why? Because ẹ ti sọ iye nù, ẹ ti sọ ipò nù, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ ti sọ adé nù. Now, the last one I'll go through is the description of Jesus. I say Yahushua, or in Paleo Hebrew, Yahawashai. We have seen that the Creator is dark-skinned with woolly hair in Daniel 7:9. And who else has woolly hair? Negroes, black people, southern Nigeria. Your hair is of wool, pure wool. Look at the sheep. Your hair is like a sheep hair. Europeans' hair are not woolly. So now let us see the description of Yahushua. Please follow me to Revelations. Ìwé ìfihàn fáwọn tó gbọ́ Yorùbá. Let us read from verse 1 for context. Revelations 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which Yah gave unto him to shew unto his servants things that must shortly come to pass, and is sent and signified by his angel unto his servant John. Now, when I say Yah, I mean the Creator, or Eledumare, who prophesied through Moses that his people will go to slavery by ships. Did you Southern Nigerians go to slavery by ships? Oh, you went. Yah prophesied it that the ancient Israelites, their descendants, will go to slavery by ships. Negroes are the only people that went there. So now, Revelations chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. If you're scripturally versed, you know that the Son of Man references Yahushua, or who you ignorantly call Jesus or Prophet Isa. Clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So he was clothed to the foot, so he could see his foot. Now his head, verse 14 says, Revelation 1 verse 14, it says, his head and his ears were white like what? Wool. Once again, wool. Kinky ear, nappy ear, negro hair, the hair of the Ancient of Days, wool. The hair of Yahushua, who you ignorant call Jesus or Prophet Isa, wool. That is not white people hair, that is so-called black man's hair or negro hair, woolly hair. Revelations 1 verse 14, his head and his ears were white like wool. Then it shows you the color, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Okay, we have the description of his hair. Some of you might say, okay, yeah, so what? He doesn't say he's dark-skinned. All right. Eshi iyeyi, open the eyes of your understanding. Iye gbọ́dọ̀ wà fún yín láti tẹ̀lé mi. Revelations 1:15. And his feet like unto fine brass. So this is telling you that his feet was like fine brass. How does brass look like? Southern Nigeria. Let me see whether you understand. Do you consider Southern Nigerians, do you know the meaning of brass? You do hard work, Southern Nigerian, negroes, Benin, Ife, brass heads, Benin brass heads, brass. Why do your forefathers use brass to make artwork of themselves? Because brass is the color of brown, and brown is resembling to the skin color of negroes of southern Nigeria. Brass skin, brown. It's not a white man, it's a so-called black man. Revelations 1 verse 15 again. His feet like unto fine brass. Okay, we all know now that brass is brown. How dark is this brass? As if they burned in a furnace. Now, if you put brass in fire and you bring it out, what does it become? It becomes polished brass. For those of you who understand art, that is how they make polished brass. That is how your forefathers made brass work. They put it in fire to make it darker so as to resemble the skin tone of whoever they want to make the artwork of. His feet like unto fine brass, brown, as if they burned in a furnace. That shows you how dark-skinned Yahushua or Jesus is. You see someone like Oni of Ife, that is how dark Yahushua, who you call Jesus Christ, is. Why do you kill each other? Why are you divided among religion? You have seen that Tesubil and Rosary are Arabs and European invention. They imitate Okbelefa. It tells you what? You Southern Nigerians, you are the original. The Arabs and the Europeans, they are the imitators trying to learn from you. You have lost your place. That is why you became slaves to the Arabs and to the Europeans, and you are still presently slaves in your land to your friends in the north. This is not an emotional topic. I'm seeking after your salvation like you should seek. My friends, this will be the end of this one. I will, in the next couple of days, be putting out and going further to explain to you how the children of southern Nigerians, the negroes of West Africa, negroes are across Benin Republic, Ghana, Senegal, Cameroon, Congo, Angola, Togo, are the biblical descendants of ancient Israelites.